Welcome back to our channel. Today we are installing a BROAN fresh air system, something I have never done. And we also have a new helper. Her name is Alice, and she is here. Welcome.
Hi.
The first thing is the box itself. This is how it came out of the package. Everything here is everything that was in the box. The instructions are here, and I've read through them a bit, and it's actually pretty straightforward, but I've never done this before, so I expect the comments to be lively. People love it when I don't know what I'm doing. The fresh air system brings fresh air in from the outside. It goes through a filter that will show you, and it delivers it to the home. It also pulls stale air out of the home, comes through the same box, and sends it outside. In a high-performance house like this one, it's not going to breathe at all. I don't know if suffocation is necessarily possible. I've also been told that you just want to get that stale air out. And I don't want nature in here, so I bring it in on my terms. I got the BROAN system because it's the easiest one to install from what I'm told. This is an AI, so we don't have to balance the incoming and outgoing. It does it itself.
That's sick.
Yeah, it comes with these brackets, and they can go right here on the box, and there can be one right here, and there'll be up here and down on the bottom, and we could drill this into the wall that I'm going to build. But first we have to put backing in for this thing to screw onto, and then we'll put another one down below. So that'll go in there. There's just a normal 110 plug here. Apparently it's going to be the easiest thing ever. That's what I keep being told. Oh my gosh. All right, nail gun. There we go. Okay. Solid. We're gonna put these brackets in here. I'm gonna show you real quick just how to do one. First, you gotta slide this under there. I didn't want to use the impact, but my Phillips wasn't biting. Those are square, but also kind of Phillips. If I were to give advice, it would just be very careful or get the right tool for the job. So we're gonna do this again on the bottom of the unit. She's nailing off the rest of the wall. We have a 2x4 here and a 2x4 here that the ERV will hang on. I set it on the face like an idiot, and we drug it around and stuff like that. So yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Sweet. I always want to check. Oh, it's actually perfect. Yeah. Good. If it wasn't, I don't really know what we would have done. All right. So, does this thing, oh, it comes off. Oh,
Best day of my life with this EVR, right?
ERV.
ERV.
Yes, this is a giant filter that should never have to be changed. This is the filter that you can change, and it filters incoming air. And I think you can get better filters, like upgraded filters. I don't know. I don't know enough about these to teach you anything. Air comes in, air goes out. That's all I know. If you want to learn more about like what these are, there are endless amounts of videos online. But we have to move on now to the ducting portion. If we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 is this over here by Alice, that port.
That one?
Yeah, and that is exhaust air from building. So from that circle that she's touching, we have to get duct work out, down, into all the various rooms that we need to pull air from. Bathrooms and closets, essentially. I think we're gonna put one in the mechanical room. And then this number 2 is over here. That's the fresh air to the building. So same thing, we gotta get ductwork from here into the house to various rooms that we want fresh air in, like bedrooms, main room, the kitchen, the living room. Then number 3, exhaust air to outside. So duct has to come out here and pop out the wall behind Alice, which is outside. And then fresh air from outside is number 4. And that's just gonna go directly behind Alice out the back door. There's a lot of nails poking me in the back. I've never done ductwork like on anything. But I have this, it's a 90 now, but you can twist it into all sorts of configurations and angles. It does slide on there just fine. I need to put this long piece on here, and it just seems a little too close to the mechanics. You know what I'm saying? So I need to extend this out. Fortunately, this pops off pretty easily after you take the screws out, of course. So the piece we need is 3.5 inches, and I don't know the best way to cut this, honestly. I'm just gonna mark it in multiple places around the barrel. I'm gonna cut it there and fit everything together with all the tape and stuff that we bought. The grinder's a little overkill. I'm pretty sure there's tools that make this better. Cut isn't perfect. I'm gonna throw that on here. First try. Nailed it. And that extends it the right length, and it puts it in the right orientation or direction. This is the connector that goes onto the ERV. It's gonna get attached onto there like so, just like that. This entire thing is full of leaks. The air will leak out of this very easily in like every joint and every rivet. So we gotta seal that all up. We have tape. We have this bucket of Flex Grip 550 duct sealant and insulation adhesives. I've never used this. It says it's code approved for all duct systems. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna get any of this goop on the ERV side at all. I'll just use tape for that connection right there. I'm assuming we just paint the crap out of this thing, right? This stuff is like hard in the bucket. They sold me a paintbrush for it. Was it supposed to be doing that? All right, I don't know. Yeah. I guess I'll just keep painting it. I don't know what this stuff, if it's supposed to be that hard. I think I'm gonna let it set up tonight, come back out, and I'm gonna put tape over the whole thing again. Problem is, I have to do this every time I do one of these 90s, I think. But yeah, I tried taping over the rubberized liquid, and since last you saw, we've had this foam installed. Now, it's time to get back to it. Put a short up on how you guys would detail these corners. And a lot of people commented, and according to the comments, it doesn't really matter, apparently. I can just do whatever I want. In fact, there was one detail that somebody commented to me personally, not on the video. Since my house is so tight because of this foam and all the details we put into it, that I may not want to seal these up at all. Like, let the whole thing leak out and suck in, and that way the whole house is pulling and like drawing and evacuating.
More flow.
Yeah, more flow just from all the leaks in the system. I think what I'll do is all these bends, these elbows, I think I'll seal those up.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, isn't that what this system is for? Is to ensure the airflow?
Whole house. So if the whole thing leaks through the system, so if the whole thing leaks through the breathing. But the thing is, this has to go here, about here. And I'm going to put another one of these going that way. So what I'm doing up here is finding out where to put it. So if I just go about here, that'll be good enough. So this is the mark that I made, and this is what they gave me, you know, you put on there, and this will receive another one of these tubes. I did notice something kind of annoying. I don't know how this is supposed to be. It does not seal at all. Like, there's no smooth way to do this. I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. I need to cut this hole out right here so that when I put this on, air can flow out. Here it is. It's kind of, we're kind of stuffed up here. It's hard to get good camera angles, but this part will connect to the ERV, and then this section will go down, and it'll be a vent for my bathroom just underneath it. This section shoots off, and it will go farther into the house. But it's going to go in like this. We're going to get this level and hang that end off. So we're going to use this. It's just like a mesh fabric that will hang that end off of one of the rafters. I cut this piece 1 foot long because I need a 1 foot long piece up there. However, one side needs to go into the pipe up there. When they come from the factory, that side is like this, it's crimped up. So you can see that that will fit It's crimped so it's smaller, it will fit inside of another tube. So I bought these, I've never used them, and I have no idea what to expect. I'm just gonna start crimping around the edges. Oh. Hey, that's kind of cool.
Sweet.
I didn't expect that to be that easy. This video could end up being very long if I wanted to detail every little thing that I'm doing. Instead of doing all that, I'll just show some of the details that I think are important if you're trying to install your own ERV system. And one of those details are the ducting themselves. We got 6-inch ducting, and you can see they're circles, but they're not put together yet. It's fairly simple to get them together. You kind of slip one end into the other, and it goes together fairly smoothly most of the time. There we go. And you can see when that seam is nice and tight. So when I show you the end result of our ERV install, and there's a bunch of these in line, you'll know that's basically what happened every time we installed one of these. The ERV is over there to my right, and there will, in the end, be 2 full-length runs of these going all the way to across the house. Off of these will be branches to various rooms. One of the runs will be the exhaust, so air that's being pulled from the house. One of them will be fresh air delivery, so delivering fresh air to the house. And those inlets and outlets will not share the same room. I will be delivering fresh air into bedrooms and living areas, and I'll be exhausting air from bathrooms and the mechanical room. So it looks like I'll be working from a ladder all the way across the house, getting these up in place, hung from the rafters. You can see the box up there. The exhaust is coming off of the back there, and it will come down and it shoots off all the way, and it is this one. And this junction actually I thought it looked pretty cool. I've never done duct work before, so I don't know, pretty satisfying to see. This other one is feeding fresh air into the house, and that ends up on top of this double line. Right here is a daughter's room, and you can see that I put a feed air into this room, and it will be a flex tube from there into here. I really wish I could get a good shot with the camera of the whole system. You have to move around a lot to get it, and I'm not getting very good shots, so I apologize for that. I want to talk right now about how to terminate a run of the ductwork. The ERV is over there, and then the ductwork makes it all the way through the house, and at the end of the ductwork, there has to be a vent. It has to end in a room. Here, this is just an example of something I had to put together to maneuver awkwardly within some trusses, and this is just an idea of what you might expect building little things like this. It's taken a long time. Well, it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would. One thing I've heard on various channels and forums, you want rigid ducting, this stuff, to be almost all of the job that you're doing, because the flow of air is cleaner, better, smoother, faster. However, you want to end your run with flexible ductwork for a quieter system. Either way, I'm having a mixture of ending my runs with rigid and flexible. The flexible is obviously much easier to work with, but when you do reach the end and you have the vent that you would look up and physically see when your house is finished being built, these are attached to these. This is just the vent. This is the vent cover. This would go on the end of that, but I do want to mention there were 3 different styles of these. I want to show you all 3. So this is just a straight one. This would just sit up in the ceiling like that, and pipe would come down onto it. These aren't going to work in every situation that I'm finding myself in. So I went and I found this one, which is essentially this, but it has a 90-degree on it. So now, if this is sitting up in the ceiling, the ductwork from the main line can now terminate at like a better angle. But then this didn't always work either. So I found this one, and the guys at the shop called it the torpedo. Same size vent. I'm gonna take the camera around and show you various places where I've used all of these in different scenarios. So these specific ones have a flange all the way around the rim, and you could put screws through here into the trusses or the wood members that you have put in. Here's an example of rigid ductwork that is terminated into one of those, I guess they call them torpedo vents. It's screwed into the 2x4 there, and I put that 2x4 in specifically just for this purpose, and it is not, it's really rigid in there. It's going to hold itself just fine. I don't need to put another one over here. That's an example of the torpedo one. Here we can see this rigid ductwork that comes into flexible ductwork, and it makes its way over here into that more conventional first one I showed you that just has the hole straight out the top. And here's an example of the third kind. Is rigid, and it goes directly into that 90-degree vent, and again it is screwed on to the truss above it. That is right over the bathtub. I put the vent as far away from the door as I could so that the whole room will be vented out. I got that helpful tip from a short that I posted on our channel, and you'll notice again here in one of my daughter's rooms, the vent is pretty far away from the door. Here's the door, and the vent is not like extremely over in the corner, but it's pretty far away. And that's feeding fresh air into the house. So her whole room will fill up with fresh air before it escapes out of the room. And that's kind of what I've been doing for a few days now, figuring out where I want the vents in the home, where they would look the best, and then how to get ducting to them. So much has happened between what you just saw and now. The drywall is on, it's mudded, textured, and we got lights. I'm about to get up into the attic, and there I will install an outlet to plug the ERV box into. And I'm not going to film any of it, mostly because it's extremely dark up there. I'm going to have to wear a headlight, and it's just annoying to try to film in the dark. Essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to drill the holes through the wall, but because the walls are now stuccoed on the outside and foamed on the inside, they're pretty thick. So I have this long drill bit. And then once I get that located, that hole will be poking out the outside of my house. I'll take this big 6-inch hole saw and cut from either the inside or the outside. I'm not sure yet. There is wire under that stucco. There's a few things I gotta look out for. Up there above my head, above the ladder, you can see the hole that I just drilled in the side of the wall. I didn't record it, but this is what comes out of that. This is stucco, and there's a very thin blue color that the house is, blue. And right under that is what they call the brown coat, which is just basically normal concrete. Embedded into that concrete is this wire mesh, and that's what I was worried about with my drill. But I discovered if I put the drill on reverse from the outside, I was going to just reverse it in a little bit and then go forward with it the rest of the way. Actually, in reverse, this cut all the way through the metal and everything, and never snagged a single time. If you look at a hole saw bit, you can see the shark fin shaped blades. You can kind of tell why that might have happened. And I bent a couple of them, but this is still a usable blade now. Now I got to measure that to see how long I need to cut the 6-inch conduit. It's quite a bit more windy up here. Okay. This is the intake side. The ERV box is 2 feet away from me right now. That's basically what's going on. Previously in the video, I showed you guys what's on the other side of this wall. Now I'm gonna go up and attach that to the ERV box, and then I have some problems to solve after that. A big gaping hole in the side of my wall. Here's the exhaust hole that I drilled out. If you're following along in this house build series, you'll know that this is an insulated concrete form home. So you might be wondering how I so easily drilled through this wall. The concrete does not go all the way to the peak. So there's 4 or 5 layers here. There's the closed cell spray foam, then just normal OSB that we put on, and then about 1 inch of normal foam for the stuccos, and then there's the stucco layer. It was pretty simple to drill out there. I got this assembled, which is the last piece, and over there is the intake, and it essentially looks the same. There's just a pipe coming in through a hole. That's kind of my idea right there, but essentially to my left here is some flexible tube or pipe or whatever. There's still daylight around here. The company Sashco sent me some free sample bottles, and Lexel, in my opinion, magic in a tube. I'm not sponsored, by the way. That's just a plug because I think it's that good. Lexel, freaking I use it for everything. The general install with the ductwork and stuff had to happen before the drywall went up, but you can't balance it or turn it on until there is electricity and drywall's in place. This is a long video. You're getting kind of a sneak peek into some future videos. We have things going on in the background, but as it turns out, there's a giant hole in the side of the wall that you just saw. There's actually a bird outside of my house right now, and that's what I'm worried about. Birds getting into that giant hole. So you have to put a grill up. And this one is actually from BROAN. And I love the way this one looks. It's black, it's got a really nice finish, and the hood looks nice. There's a problem with this one though, and that is this mesh. We have a major problem here with wasps and other insects. There are wasps everywhere up here. Yeah. So I could replace this grill with a grill that has a tighter weave that insects couldn't get through, but that would choke the incoming air. A friend of mine found these at the home store, and this is a very tight weave, and it sheds rain, and it's made for the outside of a house. It's a great option. It doesn't look as nice, in my opinion, as those black ones, but it won't stick out as far from the wall, so that might be a benefit. And this grill that it has is small enough to not allow insects through, but it's also big enough that plenty of air can make it through. I'm going to give you a little tour of the upstairs here now. In the beginning of the video, the camera was about here and we were installing that BROAN box. Now you can see all the ductwork going off into the house. There's the intake and there's the exhaust. I'm going to get this thing balanced. On the side of the box here, there are directions. Step 1, plug the unit in and wait for the airflow test. Wait till the end of the airflow test. Plug right here. How handy is that? Boom. Stuff is happening. Ooh, I don't know what it's saying. Step 2, maximum CFM configuration. I'm gonna let that go for a minute. Am I in a spaceship right now? What? I scratched it all up when I installed it. I'm so mad at myself for that. Every time I stand up to go somewhere, something changes. All right, I'm gonna shut the camera off until done. I don't know how long it's gonna take. That says E32. I don't know if that's an error code. I have no idea what's going on. I gotta do some research, I guess. What are you doing, Nils?
Discovering how your
ERV.
ERV up.
There's a scannable scanner scan thing, and very clear instructions as well, but not clear if it pulls a code that we didn't expect, which it did. We fixed it. The exhaust, which is its closest upper pipe, used to come straight out 90 straight down into the floor, go under my feet, and then up out there. But that was too restrictive, so we had to run it over there and just give gentle bends until it finally ends up out the back. We turned it on. It's been on for how, like 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, full bore, and now Nils is trying to figure out how to fine tune it to not be on like full blast all the time.
Press OK and minus at the same time.
Just once or hold them?
Select yes or no.
Oh, you just press it once? Okay.
Press on OK.
Essentially, Nils is just reading the instructions.
Oh, no, simultaneously for 4 seconds.
It's very clear on here, but we're not smart. So the air that goes this way and the air that goes this way never touch each other, but they're so close in proximity that the temperatures match up. There's a filter here. Is it dirty already? Oh, it is. It looks like it's dirty.
Dude.
That's disgusting.
Oh.
We blow it out or get a new one? Oh, disgusting. What cleans the air? The thing that cleans the air. All right, I should take this outside and smack it, huh? Or blow it out with an air hose?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that looks lots better.
don't it? That one kind of doesn't, though. Nils and I have been trying to get this BROAN ERV system programmed and running properly for quite a while. This video is taking way too long. We're just going to put it out now, but it's been giving us some issues with our particular install, and we don't know what it is yet. BROAN, for their part, they're very helpful, and he guided me through some steps. It is running, but there's a lot of videos online where you can figure it out very easily, and we tried all those things, and it's just not working for some reason. So we got it going full blast, and it feels great in here. In the meantime, we'll put this video out, and you can expect more videos to come. We have drywall, paint, mini splits, cabinets. There's just a lot of stuff coming. So thank you for your patience, and we'll see you soon.